What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as you can see, we got some guys on the screen that I ain't really seen too often, but expect them to be up here a couple times throughout the year. So we got here Nick and Brandon. Fellas, what's good with y'all? I'll start with Brandon since his name alphabetically goes first.
What's up, Brody? How you doing, bro?
Pretty good, man. You seem a little tired. Look like you've been working out a little bit. I don't know. You good? You good? Look
Yeah,
like you lost your puppy.
yeah. Little killer workout earlier, but I'm good.
Okay, all
Good to
right, I got you. Keep training, my boy. Maybe you'll get better than me sometime at some point. We'll see how it shakes. Nick, how's everything with you?
I- I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me back on. I've got the nice little caffeine running through the veins, so I'm ready.
All right, all right. I mean, hey, I told you were gonna come on the show again because, hey, fun fact, he had a lot of stats to throw around. So Brandon, as you know, both of you and I know, stats ain't all part of the game, but they do kind of help sway some things a little bit. So, and he was also giving a little context as well with those stats. I definitely wanted to bring Nick back onto the show. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, we're going ahead and get right on into it because we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the Pacific Division. Of course, y'all knew that. Y'all saw the little intro coming into the segment. I ain't gonna act like I'm surprising y'all. So what I am gonna surprise you though is talk about this team here first. Actually, maybe all of them pretty good, actually. Really, I'm going to just talk about here the Clippers, right? Let's go ahead and bring up the Clippers, ladies and gentlemen. So, for the Clippers, what I wanted to talk about, I think we started off with Brandon first last time, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's start off with Nick first this time. For the Clippers, Nick, will Russell Westbrook replicate his Clippers tenure? And when I say that, I mean, we got to bring up stats. Although stats ain't everything, ladies and gentlemen, but still, they do help a little bit. And as you can see, the brother has had a really decorated career. Last season, he brought up 16 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, rounding up, of course, on 43, 31, 66 splits. The splits I ain't really too big on, but you know what? It's cool. Stuff happens. Oh, now I want to sit there and go slow. Ain't that some mess? So, with his stats right here, last season we have his Clipper days, and you can see his 3-point percentage was a little bit better than when he was on my Lakers. His field goal percentage is a little bit better than when he was on my Lakers. His free throws was around the same, but I mean, everything else essentially went upwards except for like points, which went down a little bit. Do you expect Russell Westbrook, the Brody, to replicate his Clippers tenure? Nick, we'll start with you.
So, most people know me as a Russell Westbrook hater. I don't think I am a hater, but apparently my pessimism on his impact can be seen as hateful. And so you might think I'm going to say no here, but you know what? I'm a believer. I want Russell Westbrook to succeed. It's not that I think he's a bad basketball player. I want him to succeed. And darn it, in the role that they gave him last year as that bench guy, even if you're starting, just play make. Just make us better. The Clippers so badly need that guy to be able to initiate the offense because PG and Kawhi are great two-way players, but they're not the best initiators in terms of playmaking, in terms of shot creation, in terms of making something happen, collapsing the defense, and then passing out of it. And darn it, Russell Westbrook, he redeemed himself in those few games that he played for the Clippers last year. I think he can do it again, and I think he can be even better because now that positive press is starting to increase his confidence again, not in a toxic way. He's not trying to prove something. He's found a home, I think, in Clipperland. So I believe in him. I believe in this year.
I mean, like the biggest things I thought, because he's always had the playmaking, but it was the defense and the shooting for me. Like I said, he goes up on the splits, I think, to 30. What was that?
35.6
from three. Like, no, it was during it was when he was on the Clippers. He was shooting 36% from three. So I'm like, that ain't bad right there. So Can he replicate that part? That part I'm interested about. The
Positive
defense,
energy is
yeah, the
important.
defense is
I
about
think.
effort though. But I mean, Brandon, what's your thoughts on that? Because I'm on the fence. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like if you told me I had to put hard earned money on Russell Westbrook shooting the same on the Clippers, if you told me on the defensive side though, I could see that because that Ty Lue's his coach. So I'm expecting him to bring that out of him. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like Russell will have just as good of a season, if not better, this upcoming season. I feel like the Clippers is one of the best places he could possibly be in. I feel like he does fit well in that point guard position. They didn't really have someone that could really truly play make at that point guard position before him. I feel like they had a decent option, but just quite frankly wasn't getting the job done the way they needed to.
Mm.
So I feel like Russell does fill that position the way they need him. And a lot of the times, the Clippers, as we've seen the last couple of years, have dealt with injuries. So I feel like Russell he's able to be more himself, being that he has to pick up the slack a lot of the time. So I feel like he's in a great spot. I feel like it's going to be an even better season for him this upcoming season. I hope he does well.
Yeah, no, I am supporting Russell Westbrook. I don't want people to think that I'm out here trying to slander Buddy. Talking about from the shooting aspect, he ain't really shown me the best. Again, he was on my Lakers for quite a while. The brother gave me 31% from the Tracy ball. I ain't really liking that, but he can. No, it might not even been 31. Damn, no, that was definitely 29. Round up to 30 though, but still, it's not that bad, but not that good. So that's the only thing that I would be a little hesitant around. He's been high turnover, high assist prone. I ain't mad at that, but Clippers do have a good player in Russell Westbrook. I think he fits. Hopefully, they don't get James Harden. I would greatly appreciate that if the Clippers do not get James Harden. That would mess up so much. Like, Brandon, you really got to stay with the 76ers, bro. You really got to stay with the 76ers. But
Do it
let's
to
move
him.
on, let's move on down to the Warriors, though, real quick. Because I got a question. I do got a question. Um, Brandon, this also might be one of your cousins. Draymond Green. Draymond Green.
That's crazy.
It's only because of the beard and the shortcut. Like, holla at Boogie Cousins to the Morris twins. Like, all them. Y'all all running screens. But you know what? Me and Sean Livingston out here. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry was for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, we out here. We out here. But like Draymond Green, kinfolk, right? He just got his bread. Um, his contract season was last year, and now he's like a year older. So do you expect Draymond Green to turn up? I mean, do you expect Draymond Green to turn up? Because I mean, again, this is it's this man right here. It's this man right here. You know what I'm saying? Brother's 33 years old. He's gonna turn 34 during the season. Well decorated career. Well decorated career. But I mean, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Ain't bad on 53, 31, 71 splits. And then from a defensive standpoint, gave you 1 steal, point 0.8 blocks, but it's his presence as well. So do you expect him to turn up? Because you also don't have Jordan Poole, mind you. So you got some people who might be holding that against you, especially if y'all start losing.
Yeah. Before I answer that, Trey, I do want to say you look just like Sean Livingston. So
Oh yeah.
that was super accurate. I love that one. But as far as Draymond goes, I feel like Draymond's a very key piece. As far as like the term turn up, I wouldn't say he's going to turn up, but I feel like Draymond's going to be Draymond, right? Even if Draymond isn't putting the ball in the hoop, he's affecting the game in many other ways. His presence, even if it's just getting in someone's head, right? Draymond will talk you out of the game. So I feel like just Draymond being Draymond is always enough for the Warriors. The Jordan Poole situation, I personally wouldn't have traded Jordan Poole away. I feel like it's a young guy, kind of doing, averaging 20, I think he was. So I feel like that was kind of risky on the Warriors' end, but it's going to be interesting. I think if Draymond is himself as he always is, I feel like the Warriors will be in good shape. I feel like the tricky parts of the Warriors will be just how they figure out that Chris Paul situation, right? How are they going to have Chris Paul be the best Chris Paul version of Chris Paul he can be? It's probably going to be 6 man in my opinion, but feel like Draymond is Draymond, they'll be all right.
Okay. And again, just to bring back up the stats real fast. That was more so for Nick. I know you like the stats, my boy. But Draymond does give you about 9 points. Again, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, we rounding up. But 9 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Like that's not bad numbers out there. But also the intangibles he brings from a leadership standpoint, I ain't mad at him. And he just got his money. So I mean, like I'm kind of with you, Brandon, on that whole not trading Jordan Poole thing. At first I was like, I'm okay with it, and now I'm like, it would have been cool to see him on the squad again. Because I think listening to Andre Iguodala, he was the person who was like driving to the lane the most. I think he said that he led their team in free throw attempts or some of that, which I got double checked. But Andrew Wiggins was also out as well, so I mean I got to factor that in too. But I mean, Poole did play pretty well, so I'm expecting Draymond Green to take a little bit more onus in terms of getting back, not necessarily to that All-Star day where he was averaging about 15, but at least a comfortable 12. Like sub 10 points. I'm sorry, that's not that. Like I expect that more from Looney than from Draymond. That's just me though. That's just me. You out there enough. You have the ball in your hands enough. You have the two best shooters in history. That they cover so much gravity. I can't get 10 points just attacking the basket off of a screen. They're worrying about the shooters more than Draymond. Go to the basket real quick, big fella. That's all I'm saying. But Nick, what's your thoughts on Draymond? Like I said, I'm looking for a little bit of a turn up. Nothing special, nothing all-star realm, but a little bit of a turn up. But Brandon said as long as Draymond, they're gonna be cool, everything copacetic. So I mean, where are you landing on that?
Draymond's greatest quality is that he's not worried about his shot. The most important statistic to me with Draymond Green is 15.5, which is his career usage percentage, which means that's essentially how many shots, how many turnovers he has per game. What percentage of the Warriors' possessions does he end the ball or end the possession with? Mm-hmm. He looks around the court and he sees the two greatest shooters of all time and he says, "Why in the world would I take a shot when I can give the ball to Steph Curry and that's a much better shot than anything I could take?" He was an all-star 2 years ago on 7.5 points per game. He is the initiator of that offense. He runs that offense better than anyone you could ask to run that, maybe outside of someone like Jokic or one of those elite, players, elite offensive players. He is the quarterback of that team. He runs that defense. He runs that offense. So for him to take shots, he could absolutely, take 12 shots per game, 15 shots per game, and average 15 points per game. But the team would win less. So Draymond Green understands the most important intangible of all to recognize, which is deference. He defers to his much more offensively skilled teammates, and he just focuses on getting 8, 8, and 8 every single game while playing elite defense. We saw that in the finals against the Celtics when he absolutely took Jaylen Brown to school on multiple possessions. So if Draymond just continues to be that and doesn't and he and Chris Paul don't kill each other on the practice court because they're very competitive and fiery players, I think this Warriors team is going to surprise people. I really do think this is going to be an excellent rotation of guards and forwards for them.
I see because they're bringing in CP3. He's a pass-first point guard. He can score. He's a little bit older now, though. I think we all have been seeing that. And because he's been liking to pass the ball more, I'm expecting someone like Draymond to be open. Because, hey, guess what? Let's say he's on the floor with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins. Well, there's only one other person left on the floor, and it's either going to be Kevon Looney or Draymond Green. And respectfully, both of them players are going to be butt naked open if I got all those other players to worry about from the perimeter. So, like, he's going he almost, to me, he's almost going to get forced to score. Because, he could make the ball. He could play making that. He's been great at that. But, like, he's also shown us that he can score. And I think a lot of times people look down on Draymond like he can't be a scorer. I think Draymond can go get a bucket. So that's why I want to see Draymond averaging 12 opposed to 8.5. It's not necessarily
per game.
You said what?
Per game might go up, but it's not going to change who he is as a player. I'm
going to take you on ISO and go get a bucket real quick. Oh, no, move, Steph. I got you. I'm going to handle this myself. Nah, just be more aggressive. Like on those screens, on those switches, you can fake a pass drive to the basket. I saw him do that against the Celtics in the finals, and I'm like, bro, why do you not do at least 4 of these a game, 1 a quarter? Because the gravity on Steph and Clay is so wild, and then you add CP3 to the mix. I mean, it's not like CP3 can't shoot, and Andrew Wiggins, I want to say, averaged 39 to 40% from the 3. So I mean, you got some shooters around you. You got to be more aggressive. But I mean, we'll see how it shakes. I do think, which I do agree with you in terms of they'll be better than what people believe. So we'll see how it goes. Now, I don't know which one I want to do right now. Let's start with the Kings. Nick, I want to ask you about this. And Brandon, there's no disrespect, but it's a defensive question. I know you don't like play defense. So like
That's all right, man. I got you.
I'm joking, ladies. Yeah, he tried to play a little defense. But now, like, we got from a defensive leader, right? Well, on AMP, and that's another app that I'm like, that's an app that I'm on that I got my show on there as well. So if y'all ever want to listen, y'all can give it a little listen to. But I actually heard, like, I heard Mike Brown tell someone up there that he wants next season he wants to emphasize defense more, but they want to keep the same offensive pace. Now, to me, when I heard that, I'm like, y'all ain't gonna have no legs come postseason. Like, I wouldn't want to be on your team, champ. But like, to me, when I was thinking after that, who's gonna be better for the Kings in terms of a defensive leader? I don't look at Sabonis. I got to look at either De'Aaron Fox or the young buck in Keegan Murray. So my question is, which one's better to you? Or if you got another answer out of there, De'Aaron Fox or Keegan Murray, or if there's another for you, Nick.
So it's interesting. Like I didn't think about sort of leadership for this team and defensive leadership especially. But then I looked at their roster. So last year, their oldest player last year was Harrison Barnes at 30, and Dellavedova was there for like 32 games, but like he didn't really get much tick in the playoffs, so we're not really going to count.
Who, Harrison Barnes?
Harrison Barnes was the oldest guy that got a lot of tick in the playoffs, and at 30,
he's just somebody else. Okay.
This team does not have like a sagely veteran on their team, and they didn't really change their roster too much. Right. So, as a defensive leader, as sort of a tone setter, maybe not a leader in terms of like being that guy like a Draymond, but as a tone setter, so they brought in Nerlens Noel, who is a pretty solid shot blocker, all things considered. But I think they brought in a guy who might get a little bit more tick than you'd expect. Jordan Walsh, who has been absolutely lighting up every single opportunity he's gotten defensively, who was one of the top prospects last year coming out of high school, and always gave that defensive effort, Arkansas high school, into the pros, into summer league. And if you're looking for a tone setter, maybe not a vocal leader, maybe not the guy that everybody turns to and says, what do we do, on a defensive possession. But Nerlens Noel and Jordan Walsh might be those guys who make those oomph plays on defense that get everybody fired up. And Walsh can ultimately play.
Just to give you a little, just to give you context, the Jordan Walsh is on the Celtics, boss.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I was like, they drafted Jordan Walsh. This is crazy. You're right.
That would be a little aggressive. Like that would be a little aggressive if they had him on the team. Yeah, like Noel is interesting. Yeah, Noel's interesting. Okay.
So Davion Mitchell, I don't know.
Davion Mitchell's a good name too, though. Brandon, who would you say would be the leader of this of this Kings team? Let me pull up the list again. My phone. Like anybody on this roster come to mind, or would you say that they don't have anybody?
I feel like the comment Mike Brown made is more so an overall team mindset type of thing. When I think of defense and I think of like everyone kind of buying in, I think of like mentality, right? Right. I feel like you gotta have, everyone kind of has to have that dog mentality where it's like, I'm gonna lock this guy up, I'm gonna strap this guy up. So I don't necessarily think it's gonna be one leader. I feel like the team overall is super young, right? Obviously the best players on the team can always do a good job at kind of just setting the tone. but I feel like it's more so just an overall mindset thing. Everyone has to be on the same page. Everyone has to kind of change that mentality, lock in, just be the best defensive players they can be. Because everyone is quite young. It's a really young team. So I feel like when he made that comment, it was more so towards just the tone of everyone on defense, right? Not
Yeah, but
necessarily just
somebody,
leading.
yeah, but like everyone got to try hard. Everyone got to give that effort. But somebody's gonna put that onus on everybody and hold people accountable. So like, is there nobody on the team that you would say you would, I guess, lean towards wanting that person to say, hey, I'm gonna hold you all accountable for the defensive effort?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think you could always say the young stars, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe De'Aaron Fox,
Mm-hmm.
Davion Mitchell. I feel like you could always expect those guys to do that, right? But I feel like the Kings kind of just as a whole have to turn it up just a little bit, right? Just because you
Okay.
are pretty young. But yeah, you can always expect guys like Davion, De'Aaron, even Malik Monk. I'm not sure. Did they bring Malik Monk back? I
I
think they
think
did.
Malik Monk is still back. Yeah, he's still on the squad, at least on my roster right now. But
Yeah.
Sports Track also messed us up today, so we don't know no more. We don't know no more. But yeah, no, because Malik is kind of athletic too. He be playing a little defense himself. He try hard. At least he'll try out there. Okay, I agree with you too. I do think like on offense, you have leaders and whatnot, team like leaders in general. So I don't know if I would like listen too much to Sabonis if he was like, "Yo, bro, you need to be moving them puppies on defense." Like, what? You don't be trying all that. I wouldn't listen to Sabonis, but
Well,
someone
listen,
else might too, though. So I don't know. It should be a team effort across the NBA. It's just not. That's That's I was just curious, but all right, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool. That's dandy. So we got here. We got here. Let me get. All right, fine. I'm gonna do it like this, just because my team. I'm gonna say for my team for last, but we are gonna talk about the Suns, ladies and gentlemen. Now, y'all see I got a Phoenix jersey up here. It's the number 3, but this is not CP3. This is Diana Taurasi. Just want to give a little plug out there to the WNBA. Go watch them, ladies and gentlemen. But for the Phoenix Suns, we understand that they have a whole bunch of talent, like we do. Talent don't always win you games, right? Like when you look at this roster, I got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton. That's not those aren't bad names. Those aren't bad names. But who gonna be that hustle player though? Who gonna be that energy guy, that glue guy for him? Like Brandon, who would you say would be that Bruce Brown, that Gary Payton the second. Like who's going to be that person for them on this team? Because like if I had to choose anybody right now, I might say Josh Okogie. And I don't know if I necessarily like Josh Okogie as my energy guy. Damian Lee is like a second option, but like those are my options. What you got for
Yeah, I feel like that Swiss Army knife is kind of going to be like, surprising. I think it would be someone like Bobo. I think, his role is going to be very important, even though I feel like a lot of people may not expect it to be.
me?
I think he's going to be that person that's going to, turn a lot of heads, shock a lot of people, and he's going to get that clock time that, they're going to need, quite frankly. I think of him and what he was doing on the Magic, how
Mm-hmm.
productive he was in the minutes that he got. Unfortunately, the Magic just got a lot of big men, right? So I think just being on the Suns, I feel like he's kind of exactly where he needs to be, and I feel like he will be that Swiss Army knife, kind of that Bruce Brown. Obviously, not pulling up hitting threes, but I feel like he's going to come in the clutch when they need him. And he's going to pick up a lot of slack that people didn't expect him to. So, and I feel like it's also going to potentially earn him a contract in the near future. So, I expect a good season from Bobo.
Yeah, now Bobo's tough, bro. I remember I said this, but I said it on my show. I hope he goes to the Suns because he can learn from Kevin Durant. Like one of the things, like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are my favorite players in the game today, right now, because I like intangibles, like stories that you hear about players. Like you heard about Braun eating healthy and working on his body and stuff like that. But like Steph and KD, both of them go hard in practice. They run 100% all the time. And the thing that I've heard from Bol is the brother's lazy. Like we heard Victor Wembanyama, everybody acting like, oh, we've never seen someone like him. I mean, the Magic has someone who's quite close. No, he's not 7'4", but 7'2" ain't short. And he's quite lanky, quite nimble, and quite gifted on the offensive and defense. And mind you, his daddy is Manute Bol. Like, come on now, like let's act like he don't have good stock in his genes. So Bol on this team, I expect him to play really well, and he could actually be that fifth guy, if you will. What hurts me is he too damn lazy, or at least he comes off like that to me. Like that's why I don't put in the word energy, like glue guy, that hustle player with Bol don't fit well with me. That's my only trepidation. But talent wise, I'm right there with you, Brandon. This brother is special. Nick, how do you feel on the Suns roster? Do they have somebody like a hustle energizer buddy, energy guy, or do you agree with Brandon should be Bol? Or what's your thoughts?
So if Bol starts developing a motor, all of a sudden everybody's in trouble. That was
Yeah.
his big problem coming out of college, was that can you develop a motor? Because Bol certainly didn't have it at Oregon. But he sort of makes enough plays by being as long and lanky as he is, and sort of being as tall as he is. So I mean, half, six of one, half dozen of the other. But the guy I want to mention, I had to make sure I'm not like having another Jordan Walsh moment. He's not on another team randomly. Is is my man from Normal, Illinois, that ain't normal. Keda Bates Diop, that they signed from the Nuggets.
Okay.
He didn't play a lot on the Nuggets, but he is a low maintenance, absolute hustle. Like he goes for everything. He is a dog. He kind of reminds me a little bit in terms of his sort of demeanor and his play style, a little bit of Corey Brewer, if anybody happens to remember that. And he's he just goes and gets he makes the most of his minutes. And if anybody's going to be a hustle guy for this team, it's going to be Keita Bates-Diop. Josh Okogie, I think, was another guy that I sort of pointed to as, listen, this guy was playing power forward at 6'4". He's clearly got some kind of dog in him. So, guys like that, I think you're right. The Suns need players like that. They need playmaking. They need to be able to become a playmaker all of a sudden, because apparently they're going to play him at point guard. And they need guys who are going to do the dirty work. God, what they wouldn't give to have someone like Larry Nance Jr. on this team.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
they need a glue guy. So KBA has got to be that guy. He's got to come off the bench, be the seventh man for that team.
It's interesting because I didn't bring his name up actually because I was curious if anybody else was going to say. I'm going to say his name, but after that we can transition on to the last team. I'm surprised no one said anything about DeAndre Ayton. Because if I'm DeAndre Ayton, I'm gonna get easy buckets, and that's the Energizer Bunny to me. Like someone who's setting the picks, someone that's setting the screens. You can easily dive down, catch the ball. That's a lot of playmakers on your team, really. You got D Book, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Eric Gordon. I mean, I'm just saying, just those four alone are going to be on the floor quite often. So if I'm someone like DeAndre Ayton, I'm not worrying about having to try to get a go-to move or get on the block here, dudes. I mean, hey, I'm gonna get on the block, but if he does all the hustle plays, he gonna be
a lot of shots going up, a lot of offensive rebound opportunities. Go get him.
Open. So I mean, that is something he may want to consider. But I ain't want to spend too much time on that because again, he do get paid too much to just be, just a hustle player. He need to be more than just a hustle player, but that needs to be incorporated into his bag too. But now the final team for us, the Lakers, my Lakers. And I got to say this with a positive smile on my face. We could be experiencing LeBron James leaving. Yep, that's right. That's right. That's right. Brandon, that's another one. Braun, beard, all the stuff that he can folk to you too. So like, we got AD. He signed for about 3 seasons. I'm curious if that's the best pairing for Anthony Davis. Should LeBron James leave Los Angeles after this season? Hell, or even during. Nick, did we start with you last time, or?
I think I went second, but if you want to start with Brandon, I mean, I'm going to sit here sort of like.
Yeah, we'll start with you, but we'll close off with this kinfolk.
All right, bet. will he leave LA after this season? You know, who knows what LeBron's thinking at any one moment, but boy, as an LA hater, boy, would it make me happy. Man, would it make me happy.
If he
But we
left,
do
though.
know that he does want to play with Bronny. So that is a possibility that he will leave to whoever drafts Bronny. But if Bronny comes out into the next draft, but
But hold on, real quick, just out of curiosity, you said you would, as a LA hater, you would like to see him leave LA. So like, I just want to just because for Kobe fans, right? Like it's not the best that he's on our team.
listen,
Right.
I've given up on trying to trying to like figure out Kobe, Kobe fans. So like I'm done trying to appease them. So whatever, I don't.
It hurts. So you'll be happy if Braun leaves, but okay, all right, I got you. So then Brandon, and again, this is your guy. Like this is actual like he's a fan of him, just because I've been saying this is kinfolk, but he's an actual fan. Like, should Braun leave? Should your guy leave? Should he get off my team? Can he get off my team?
No, I don't think he should. I don't really see a purpose in leaving. Um, especially this close to the end of your career. I feel like you have a team that's capable getting to the finals. It's just about adding the right pieces, staying healthy as well. So I don't really see a purpose in him leaving, to be honest with you. I know he wants to play with Bronny, but I feel like as of right now, we don't really know what Bronny's future will look like. We don't know if he's playing this season. We don't know what to expect from Bronny. So I don't even think that should be the focus right now. I feel like the focus should be just LeBron, the Lakers winning another one. So with that being said, I don't feel like Bron should leave. I don't feel like there's a better situation per se out there. I feel like you could make a super team, I guess, right? But if I was Bron, you're in LA, great city. You're on the Lakers, solid roster. I feel like it's just about adding more pieces, right? So I don't really see a purpose in leaving.
Okay. I mean, I could see two. I could see two teams he could actually go to. Three, you want to make something shape. The Knicks, but that's an outside chance. The Heat, because he has ties. But then also the Cavs, and these are all realistic possibilities. Like the Cavs, I've been told they're a small forward away from being a true contender. They don't have a title window right now. The Knicks, him going there, it could be equivalent to like Jordan going to the Wizards. You might not expect them to win, but hey, with him, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, something might be able to pop off. So again, like I think he could actually go to some other teams, especially when you're taking into consideration, okay, well, Bronny and Bryce are now older, so when he moved to LA, he moved to them. So he moved there partly to, be around, be closer to them. They older, like Bronny out the crib. He's still in Cali, but like he out the crib. So I mean, I could realistically see Braun maybe trying to leave to go to the Cavs because you pair with Donovan Mitchell, who you might say, hey, he might be more dependable than Anthony Davis. Darius Garland's no slouch. And I think if you want to pair Darius Garland or compare Darius Garland to like an Austin Reeves or whoever our third option is, I think Darius Garland gets that nod. And then Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, that might be a solid option. But I also could see him staying with us too, because we are. It's not like we're not an incompetent team. Like we might have incompetent management sometimes, but like our team is capable of winning the championship. So I mean, we just gotta see how it shakes out. But okay, all right. So we got one leave, but it was a bias. Well, I guess two bias leaves and then one stay. But like, okay, it's not bad. It's not bad numbers. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick hiatus, like I said earlier. Pay some bills, use the bathroom, all that good stuff. When we come back, we talk about another division. So hope you all enjoyed it and stay tuned so far because this has been a good one thus far. But fellas, I greatly appreciate this. It's went a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be, but definitely had some good conversation. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I will definitely have y'all see Brandon and Nick again. I don't know the next one I'm gonna ask them though, because I want people to keep coming back onto the show. So you can't keep utilizing your people's plugs like that. But fellas, before we close up shop, do y'all have anything you want to say? See, he always want to be leaving every single time. I get you, Brandon. I get you. You don't
His
have
phone's running out of battery now.
not for you. Not but Nick, you got anything you want to say before we close up shop?
appreciate you having me back. And this was fun. Unfortunately, I kind of feel the last two times I've been on here, it's run a little long, so I kind of feel personally responsible. But next time I'll try to keep it short and sweet as much as I can. But I appreciate you having me on.
And I appreciate the combo. Like it's always gonna be content to edit and post out there. So I appreciate this. Brandon, what you got to say for us, boy, before we close up shop? I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Someone get John Boy. Someone get John Boy on this. Read lips.
Yeah, but go just give us a second. Give us a second. Hold on, just one second. Nah, hold on.
Write up signs. Just write it on paper. Just hold it up. Accessibility. American Sign Language.
Hey, log out and come back in. Leave and come back in. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see what he's back. We're good. All right, what you want to say before we close up shop?
I appreciate you having me on here, Trey. I appreciate being on here again, and I look forward to the next time.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I apologize for it going a little long. We'll try to keep it shorter next time. Most definitely. But fellas, I'll see y'all again at some point in time this week, I'm sure, or at least sometime in the month or whatever. We gonna hoop at some point in time. But people, hope you all like this video. Like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. We get